everybody, and welcome back to some more Create 2 Mechanism. Today, it is finally time for us to create a mob farm. Now, I'm not doing this out of my own volition. I actually didn't want to do a mob farm this series because it didn't seem like I was gonna need to. But I'm gonna need to, because I'm gonna need pink slime for this final recipe here in this quest line. And that means we're gonna get into some more industrial foregoing with a mob slaughter factory. And oh boy, is this recipe gonna suck. Not only are we going to need a simple machine frame, which means we're gonna need to go ahead and use the chapter 7 mechanisms and stuff. That's not as hard, since I did end up actually making a little system for the plastic, which I think I'm going to end up making a little snippet for that and showing in that video. I haven't decided yet, but I made a system for that, so that's not a problem. What's gonna be a problem, though, is the netherite tools. Now, netherite itself isn't a problem anymore. I have made an automated setup for that as well. Not getting it to the ingots, but for being able to at least get the fragments. That stuff's fine. But for me to get netherite sword, I need to get an emerald sword, which means I need these emerald experience chunks, which I can get those, but I can't just craft that on my own. I can't just craft either of these on my own. I need to upgrade. I cannot craft a single sword except the wooden ones on their own. From that point on, I need to upgrade. That one's gonna be annoying, but other than that, it's just a bunch of other simple stuff. And while we are doing this, we are gonna go ahead and get the rest of the things for this mechanism, such as being able to get fluix dust, which is gonna involve us getting a dissolution chamber and also getting some crushed obsidian, but we can just do a milling setup for that so I can get that on my own. And as for the dissolution chamber, more plastic. More, oh, that's 2 times compressed gold. Oh, that's gonna suck. Some diamond gears, some more of these casings, another frame. I'm going to, oh, ooh, this goes into both of these. Oh. I'm gonna need 2 dissolution chambers. Okay, I'm gonna go get everything I need for that.
20 minutes later.
Okay, it took me a little bit, but I managed to gather everything. I actually decided to get everything for both of these guys. Firstly, we're gonna need to make ourselves our 2 dissolution chambers. And then lastly, we can make a slaughter factory. And oh my gosh, that cleared up so much of my inventory. Like an unreal amount, but there we go. So now we got those guys all ready to go. So, the dissolution chamber, I can go ahead and set up later, because that's going to be for some kind of auto craftings and stuff that I'm going to need to go ahead and set up off screen for me to get that going. So we can actually go ahead and start with the mob farm. So, for us to get a mob farm going, we're first going to need to get ourselves some of this cursed earth, which is just combine a wither rose with 8 dirt, and then we get ourselves cursed earth. With cursed earth, what is going to happen is when, actually, it might not even be light level based, but it's going to start spawning a buttload of mobs. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go ahead and put a thing here, and then we're going to want to go ahead and then show working area. That is a little small, so I want to try and get that bigger. So since I'm going to be increasing it, it looks like if I want to get out, I'm going to need +3. So that is a little unfortunate because that's going to extend a little far, but it doesn't look like that's actually going to be too terrible. Oh, but I can't throw the stuff in with that. Okay, that's a little unfortunate, but at least it works. So, okay. And there we go. That was really quick. So now we just need to go ahead and then upgrade this baby a few more times. And actually, before I put this in again, level 2 may actually be enough. So actually, level 1 may have been enough. So after that, we're just going to need to go ahead and then break out the floor here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and replace this stuff with our cursed earth. And hope that this guy won't start spawning stuff until I activate a light level. So we go ahead, get rid of that, get rid of this, fly to safety. Okay, fly to safety, and then plop this. Okay, so now that should be good.
Eventually.
Okay, so I figured out why it wasn't working. It was the light level. So that witherproof glass I have isn't like the one that I get in other mod packs. This one doesn't block out light. So I needed to surround this thing in something that would block out light, so that way it would work. So now we are getting our meat and our pink slime, so that is good. I'm gonna need to go ahead and then put in a void upgrade in this one, that way we can focus on getting the pink slime, because it does make more liquid meat than pink slime. So I don't know why it shows that it does there, but it doesn't. It makes more. It makes more liquid meat, so. But we are getting our pink slime, so now all we gotta do is just wait for us to get enough to hold a bucket of it. And then we should be good. And then what we can do with that is we will take our pink slime and throw it into another one of our dissolution chambers. And then what that's gonna do is it's gonna combine with a glass pane and get us our pink slime balls, which is one of the ingredients for our next mechanism. Now, this is about to be the point where I can go away, because I am going to need to automate glass panes, which is going to be a pain, which means I'm also going to need to automate glass, so that's going to be something else. I'm also going to need to go ahead and automate the Fluix dust, as well as the obsidian, which is just going to be more crushed systems, and then we should have our mechanism. Now, you might notice, this is still very early in the video. That is because there are going to be some other things that we are going to want to do after this, but for the moment, we just need to focus on this. So I'll see you all once we got everything ready.
1 hour later.
Alrighty, I finally managed to get it all situated. So what we have here is we have our redstone solution with our powdered obsidian going into it. And I got the powdered obsidian just by having a EMC link with obsidian configured into it to just mill it all down to go into a drawer over here, which all of our items are brought here by our controller access point, which is also allowing us to get our redstone solution into here, which is then being pushed out into this drawer, getting our flux dust. And for this one, it's literally just a glass pane. And there's also a locking mode on here, so that way it can lock the specific recipes of stuff. Not the fluid for some reason though, but that's fine because the fluid conduits actually have an innate filter that will lock once it's used, so it's good. So then these guys are also giving us our pink slime. So now we have those guys ready, and for once, I actually have them completely automated as they are being created. That is beautiful. So now we can take these over to here with the new assembly line set up and ready, and then we just go ahead and plop these guys here and let her loose. And there it goes. Now we have ourselves our embedded mechanism, the level 8 mechanism. So now what we do is we combine a strip log with our flux dust to get our next casing, which we can now combine with our new mechanism, getting us our level 8 mechanism, completing chapter 8 and opening up the door to chapter 9. It is beautiful. Now, you might have noticed, as I pointed out earlier, this didn't take very long. For you. Anyways, it took me several hours to do all of this because create takes forever. We might be able to change that though with this thing, as with this embedded machine, we are actually going to be able to get ourselves our advanced machine, which what this thing will open up the door for is laser drills. But, this is a big but. For me to make these laser drills, it does take quite a bit of resources for me to be able to do that. So, if I want to be able to make a laser drill in a place that is going to be worth it, I would first need to do something, and that would be to get to the end. But I kind of want to save the Ender Dragon for its own thing, which might take a little bit, it might not, but I just want to save that for another point. So we will not be making the ore laser drill. What we will make, though, is the fluid laser drill, as this will still fit with the theme of today being a mob farm. With the fluid laser drill, we will be able to actually open up the door for the next mechanism, because by using a fluid drill on a wither, we can get ourselves something called ether gas. Now, I've already made a wither in the past, so we all know how to get that. I did decommission the wither skull farm because I didn't foresee me needing it anymore. That's gonna suck to try to deal with that again, so I'll do that on my own time. As for all of these, These are just more of the same recipes. So in fact, we can just go ahead and do that. And there we go. I'm going to go ahead and craft all of these guys off screen. I'm going to get everything I should need. And then we'll be right back.
Much later.
Okay, I finally did it. So I got all of the stuff set up. So as you can see right behind me, I've set up another case for the Wither and I put him in there. That green hue you see is the working area of the stasis chamber, which I did have to put in some level 2 add-ons for the thing to be fast enough so that way it could keep the Wither without issues. And then we just have these 2 laser drills going down into that laser drill base, because as long as it's in this green working area for these guys, it should connect, with a purple laser lens in there, which is drilling into the Wither and getting us our ether gas. Completely automated. It is beautiful. So now, what we do, we would take this beautiful little ether gas right over here, and then we just throw it in. And only 90 millibuckets are used in the creation of this, so this is good. So then what we can do is we can just... That's not what we want. We actually actively don't want that. So here's the plan. We go ahead and take this and put it on insert, okay? Now that should be fine. And then we go ahead and extract from here, and there we go. Now the pipes should be configured. So if I go ahead and bring this one back here to absorb our ether gas, we can then go ahead and then bring this one up, because that way it's already here and I don't have to worry about all sorts of conflicts and stuff. And then extract. Okay. And there we go. Now we're getting our ether gas, which is giving us this new thing right here called our ether gems. With these babies in hand, I should be able to go ahead and check this baby off now. We got our next area already set up. So now, for the first time in the history of this series, we get 2 mechanisms in one video. Oh my goodness, look at that. Now, unfortunately, we have now surpassed the boundaries of my storage controller. So if I wanted to so when I do this, I disconnect everything. I think I got them all. That was bad. Okay, so I guess I'll have to go from the storage access points. So if I want to increase my range, I'm already up at all diamonds. So I'm gonna be at all netherite soon. And the only thing after that would be a creative one, which I can't even get, like, ever. I won't be able to get that one because yes, there is a recipe, but that's gonna involve like all the power flowers and stuff like that that I will not do. No, I looked into that, not touching it. But either way, we managed to do it. We got ourselves our next mechanism. And the best part is, this portable mechanism, is the second to last mechanism. Once we reach this next one down here, that will be the very last one. And what's really good is, before that, we're gonna get into some mechanism. It's finally time. So now, for the next to last time, let us go ahead and then take the rest of these guys and see, what do I need for this next casing? Ender Star, what? I mean, it's not hard to get, but come on. Why would you force me into this? So really, all we need to do is just take some Eyes of Ender into this Ender Crafter with our Nether Star, and yeah, there we go. That's pretty much it. It's just gonna craft. So now all we really need to do is just take this, break it down, and there we go. We got enough for 9 of these cases actually. So now we just need to go ahead and take a good old piece of stripped wood, and there we go. Now we got the portable casing. Might as well make the rest of them because I'm not gonna use star fragments for anything else. So, oh wait, I already had the stuff on me. Okay, there we go. So now we take this and we now have ourselves 2 chapters done in one video with a portable machine. So did you like this video? Good. Be sure to check out our last Create the Mechanism video where we got our AE2 system up and running. Bye-bye!